Hi, hopefully we're going to be able to get our co-host on now. So welcome everybody. This is a part of our Planning a Texas Hill Country Wedding series. Today we'll be talking about trends as soon as our co-host hops on. I hope everybody is staying warm in this cold weather. I know it is chilly, so don't forget to hashtag live if you're watching live with us today in the comments, and then hashtag replay if you're watching later. Again, this is just going to help us stay relevant in the feed. And also, if there's something you would like us to discuss or any questions you'd like to answer, please just put it in the comments. We're always happy to help and respond. So I am just waiting for our co-host again. Hopefully she will be available momentarily. Sorry, I have it right here. And I can do it. Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Have some technical difficulties. Just a second.
Okay.
There we go. Yay!
Hi.
Better. All right. Sorry.
That's okay. Just checking in. Reminding everybody to hashtag live and hashtag replay if they're watching later.
Yes. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, well, this is the Trends series. So Stephanie and I both happen to be at Wedding MBA.
So fun.
Did not plan that, but we just both happened to be there and trying to learn everything that we can for our industry and bring it back to our businesses and to our clients. So we had a lot to learn at Wedding MBA, but one of the cool things that I love about Wedding MBA is they like to show us the trends and show us new china, new flowers, and new
all
everything.
the good stuff that we have to know about, so
right.
we get ahead of them and suggest them. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, I am Sheree. I'm with Messina Inn. We are a Texas Hill Country wedding venue in Wimberley, and we have been open going on 8 years now. Today, our co-host is Stephanie with Sweet Gardenia Weddings, and we're going to be discussing everything that we learned at Wedding MBA for trends.
Yes.
Welcome, Stephanie. Tell us about yourself.
Hey, thank you so much, Sheree. This is Stephanie. We are Sweet Gardenia Weddings based out in San Antonio. Offer planning, design, and coordination. And now we've offered florals as our newest, biggest venture right now. I'm so excited to tapping into that market as well. And we've been in business for 7 years now, and I love what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yay. Well, so I think the biggest topic for Wedding MBA across the board is experiences. That is what is trending.
Oh, yeah.
So they are saying that weekend stays are trending. So you have the full weekend to make memories, and it's not just a rush in, rush out kind of situation. Like a lot of venues, that happens to be our expertise, our specialty here at Messina Inn. So with us, you get to do on-site lodging. You can sleep 37 guests. We can do rehearsal dinner on-site. And of course, wedding day is here, ceremony, reception, cocktail hour, all of that stuff. And then breakfast is next morning, or a farewell brunch, whatever works for you.
Yes, I loved visiting the venue for the first time because it was like this is what where we're heading for the 3-day kind of like wedding where we want to create a whole weekend experience instead of just having one day where I hear that it went by so fast. If you stretched it out over 3 days and had lodging and accommodations for your guests, it just seems more of an experience. Things like the rehearsal dinner, or like a brunch, like hosting your whole wedding day, and then even after we're having a farewell brunch, which is trending right now. As the experience, it's bringing them all in, and they fly in, and you want to like host them all the way until they fly out. So I just love that idea of hospitality for sure.
Yeah. So back when I was just doing coordination, I would hear a lot of my couples be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see my cousin. I haven't seen her in, I don't know, 3 years or whatever." And then at the end of the wedding, when we're recapping and we're talking about what they liked and what they didn't like, they're like, "Oh yeah, it just went by so fast." And what I feel from that as an individual is that like that person that she was so excited to see, she probably only got to spend an hour total, like throughout the entire night, because you're busy being a host, you know? And so with us here, they're checking in, they're relaxing in their rooms, then we're gathering. Sometimes we're, doing some kind of little welcome social time, then doing rehearsal dinner. A lot of our guests are hanging out by the fire pit or they're out by the pool, enjoying the sauna, things like that. And then we do breakfast on site here both mornings. So they get to kind of all gather for breakfast and they can sit out on the patio, enjoy the views of the creek. And then, throughout the wedding day, everybody's together, even in a traditional setting, like you would be off somewhere doing your hair and makeup, or you might be at the venue doing your hair and makeup, but the rest of your wedding group, the ones that are coming in and traveling, they're not there. They're, doing their own thing. And so that's kind of the great thing about having that option is like, they can hang out with you, or they can go check out Wimberley or check out whatever town the venue you're at is in. So we have guys that are fishing in the creek, going to play golf. We have people that are going to check out the shops in town and eat a lunch. And then seems like they always wrap up the night again after wedding is over. There's still people that are hanging out and doing, the fire pit again or the pool or hot tub or whatever. Yeah. So it's really hard to explain it all, but that's, wrapping your brain around all the different times that you're getting the opportunity to spend more time with these people is something that I think is what's great about having a whole weekend stay.
Yeah, I love that it's trending because I would like to go on a weekend wedding,
Yeah. I mean, when I got married, there was like a large home that was doing weddings, and they were kind of doing this even back then. And I've been married for 18 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, I so wish I could do that. Unfortunately, it was not in my budget. But neither was, most of the hill country venues that we have today were not in my budget. So, but yeah, so it's been around for a long time, just kind of now trending more and more.
Right. I love that. And when you're hosting somebody who's need to fly, book a hotel, and do all that stuff, you're kind of like doing it for them. You're taking all that guesswork out for where they're going to stay, how they're going to get to the wedding, and all that stuff. I love that.
Yeah. So interactive drink stations and seating assignments are trending. So again, this is just going back to different types of experiences that we're seeing trending in the market.
Yes. The interactive stations that they're having, seating assignments that they're coming up with. It just seems like that's the trend that we're doing is we're putting in these experiences where you can see and taste and feel like another one of them is wedding scents and smell, right? They smell gardenias as she's walking down the aisle, or gardenia lightly scented in the reception area where maybe after the food these plugins are plugged in, and then you just get like really nice interactive experience, setting those the aesthetic and the vibes for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a bride one too. They scented their invitations
Oh, I love
and
that.
then they used that same scent. I know this sounds weird, but in the bathrooms, they had candles going
Oh,
in
there
the
you go.
bathrooms, which I thought, that was great. And I love expanding it into the wedding itself too.
Yes, carrying it into different places of the way. That's really cool. I love that idea for sure.
Um, let's see, somebody's commenting, hello, beautiful ladies. Congratulations. Blessings to your 2025. May your calendars be full. Thank you. We hope that your calendars are full too.
Thank you, friend.
Um, so those interactive drink stations and seating assignments, we've seen keys, be the seating, your little kind of escort card. So that's something you can take home. I love that being a hotel. Like it was kind of like those old school, the one we had was like old school hotel tags. So that's kind
That
of fun.
idea. Yeah. I love that idea.
And we've seen books be the, telling people where to sit.
Yeah, I've seen interactive seating arrangements where it's kind of like a telephone, like an old telephone operating system where there's a bunch of like little slots, and you find your the first initial of your last name, and then you open the slot, and then you'll find where you get to sit. And so a lot of people get very interactive, and when people see their name, it's extra special too, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think interactive guest seating arrangements are a big one right now.
Kind of tying the drink stations in with the seating arrangements, we have seen their tags be like on a drink, their escort cards, kind of not a traditional card, but different types of things on your drinks. I've also seen this thing where it's not, we haven't had it here, but I've seen it online where like they ring a bell and bring you a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just lots of different ways. And then Stephanie, you told me that starlit weddings are trending.
Yes. Yes, starlit wedding. So I'm getting a lot of requests for weddings held underneath the stars, and creating this ambiance of being outdoors and in nature and surrounded by, um, you know, uh, the beauty of hill country, Texas. That. So I thought that was so beautiful, and there are ways to do it. You just got to be strategic, and it's definitely trending right now. So
Yeah. I
love.
loved that because dark sky communities are kind of becoming into the being brought into the spotlight. Wimberley is one, so is Dripping Springs, so both hill country towns. But we here in Wimberley, like we won one of the top spots for dark sky communities, and I know here at Messina Inn, you can see the stars. Like we have openings in the trees that you can just like look up and see a million stars. And so I kind of like that old play on like nighttime. I know, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, nighttime ceremonies were trending with candles. And so like I kind of like bringing that and doing it into the reception too.
Right, right. Nighttime ceremonies. I had a bride who really, really wanted a dusk wedding, where it was kind of like that middle part of being dark, but still having some light for photos. So you
Yeah.
got to bring in that light if there are no um, light fixtures or anything around.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I also heard that Villa Italy weddings are trending. So going to Italy in general, I hear is trending.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah. Oh yeah, going to Italy and having a destination wedding is trending for sure. Then if you don't have the budget for Italy, there's definitely places where we have in Texas that feel very European inspired, very Italian, rustic or Tuscany inspired. So I love that. It's trending right now, and Texas has beautiful little gems, venues that you can host your wedding at that definitely bring in some of that feel, that aesthetic that
Yeah.
is Italian.
Yeah. So we are an Italian inspired villa as well. So I love that that's trending because I'm like, hey, maybe the barns are not as big right now, and the villas are a thing because I love that. Plus, I feel like it gives a total romantic vibes when you think about going to Europe or to Italy. Like, I think about wine country and strolling the vineyards and going to, I think it's what Venice is on the water that you get to take the
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on boat rides and
And
so just a lot of romance. So I
yeah,
love that Italy is trending because you can go to Italy and do your wedding there, or if you have family that can't travel and you need to do it here in Texas, there's lots of venues like us who can accommodate. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there are venues out there that can accommodate that
right.
same romantic Italy vibes.
Yes, very lush greens, luscious landscaping,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful like stone inspired backdrops or on the floor, like having some stones on the. I love that. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
going.
that kind of goes with the garden vibes that we're seeing too. So garden vibes are still trending from last year. And Italy is known for its gardens. If you look at villas, you're going to see gardens. And so I think a lot of places have tried to incorporate uh, gardens into their venues that are that aesthetic as well. So.
Yeah, the lush, bring all the lush. That
Mhm.
is nice too, because then you don't have to worry about bringing so much decor when the venue is already beautiful, like Messina Inn, for sure.
That's something I hear a lot. They're like, we just want to incorporate the beauty of the event space and not have to do as much decorating. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
very smart.
Live cooking. What an experience that would be. I mean, when I think of live cooking, I think of hibachi, but I don't think that's what probably they.
Right, right. When I'm thinking live cooking, Um, that's something that's best for either late night snack or cocktail hour, or maybe even a food station during dinner. We're seeing like a bunch of flambeing where maybe there's a stir fry station and we're having a blast of fire, and that surprises and delights and is something different from the ordinary. I'm also saying like live, like al pastor stations where they're cutting the meat off, from the pit, and it seems very extravagant, and it just gives you an extra interesting thing to look at while you're standing in line waiting for your food, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Live cooking stations, but you got to think about venues that have a bunch of plugs around and being able to anticipate how many stations you need for the amount of people that you have, and a bunch of stuff. It's really awesome. You just got to do it right.
Yes. Yes. Um, and then coffee carts are still trending, which makes sense with the whole Italy vibe. Who doesn't love a croissant and a espresso?
Oh yes, give me a little pan dulce dip it in. I love that. Coffee carts are huge. We did one where they made espresso and matcha, but they're a little loud.
Yeah.
So just know that, when you're blending stuff, and love the coffee carts. They're good for when at the end of the night too, when people are drinking and dancing and they need to drive home.
I like it at the end of the night too because people are busy dancing, and so that noise isn't such an issue because
Yes.
they're out on the dance floor.
Right, there you go. That's one of the things. I guess the next one would be artists, right?
Yeah,
So much art is popping up right now.
right.
A lot of this art is live action art too, right? Where
Mhm.
people are there setting up a station and either doing watercolor guest portraits, live sketches of your guests, something that they can take home as like a little party favor, a little parting gift. Not so much a little keychain with a custom something, but like a gift that they can, put in their office or something really nice. I
Mhm.
I love that. I see like the fashion kind of styles or the watercolor styles or just black and white. Really, really cool.
Yeah, so we're seeing anything from, the photographers who are just gonna, they're gonna, or not the photographers, I'm sorry, the artists that are just going to paint your wedding it's a commissioned piece and they paint throughout the night.
Yeah,
So that's something that we're seeing
really
a
cool.
lot of. The sketch artists, the silhouettes,
The silhouettes, yes.
and paint by numbers.
Oh, yes, the paint by number. I've seen that. That's one
Mhm.
of the things that where your guests could, get up there and interact with it. Kind of feel like they had a part in this painting that you're eventually either going to hang up or has them have as a memento for, your home or something. So exciting, right? I love that. Having a painter at your wedding is really, really cool and just another experience,
Right.
right? At your wedding.
Um, Video save the dates.
Oh yeah, I've seen this happen. A long time ago. I say a long time ago, but it was probably like 2022. My couples asked me, Stephanie, what's trending right now? We want to participate in some of the trends, and I had to like pull out my phone, and I have a long list of trends, and I said, well, somebody told me that save the dates are coming along, nicely, like as a trend. And so they did it. And it was a nice way to be eco-friendly, but also change it up, switch it up, not
Yeah,
spend so much money on paper.
yeah,
So I really like that
yeah.
it's trending.
I saw that. I saw it at Wedding MBA. That was the first time I had seen it. And I just loved that it was like a cute little video announcing their wedding. It was like, you see a lot of engagement videos, but I haven't seen a lot of save the date videos. So I really liked that. And that's something you can keep forever and show your kids. I mean, they're probably not going to care about some magnet that you stuck on the fridge, even though I love the magnets.
Me too. Yeah,
uh,
and it's like you think about it too, like you save the magnets, but sometimes like magnets fall off,
mhm.
or you just like forget it's even there because so many things are else, so many other things are on your refrigerator. But then again, like a video you can save on your phone, right?
Mhm.
Especially if you send a text message, like that's awesome just to pull up on your phone and be like, oh yeah, the date is this,
Yeah.
time is this. Make sure I save it, ask that day off and stuff like that. While you're at work, you just pull up your phone. Love that. The next one, I guess we should move along would be the hat branding,
Mhm.
right? Hat branding. So that's really cool. I'm seeing trucker hats, cowboy hats, and those trendy wide brim hats too. Be like branded or customized or have like patches on it or being
Feathers,
embroidered,
cards.
feathered. and just really customizable to the person who wants to wear it. But I thought that was really, really cool.
I
Bling
love
out a
that
trucker
it's like
hat. I'll
it's
wear
like it's
it.
like an experience for your wedding, but it's also something that you will use later.
Right, right. And you don't have it doesn't have to say something like, you're just not passing hats that say like established, or the Johnsons established 2025. Something really like cool and thoughtful and customizable and something that you'll actually wear. So I really like that one.
Yeah.
That trend.
Perfume bar.
Perfume bars, that's a big one. That's a trend in, I guess, like Las Vegas or something, or I heard about it in like Los Angeles or something, where they're customizing their own like rollerball perfume.
Mm.
Really cool. I kind of want to do something like that, something maybe like stress relieving. Like come by, like I just need something stress relieving, like eucalyptus oil or something. I would love that. That would be really
Yeah.
nice.
And permanent jewelry. I mean, I'm seeing that. That's been happening all year.
Yeah, for events, that's really different. That's really cool. Where they just bring a table, a linen, a light, and all of their jewelry that they can put on you. That is really cool.
Bean bracelets, necklaces. I think maybe rings,
Yeah, rings or like anklets,
anklets.
something for your ankles.
Hmm.
Just
And they
really
like
nice.
solder them on. So you pick out like what chain you want, what charm you want if you want a charm, and then they like solder it on you.
Yeah, I thought that's really, really cool. That they can leave with something that, if they want, can be permanent. So, tattoos now, I've seen that, but I don't know if
Yeah.
it's trending right now. But I've seen also like tattoo artists and stuff.
I think it's still trending. I think it's still
Yeah,
trending for
yeah,
the right crowd.
right. Gotta
I
be
just
right, like rock and roll
went to an
wedding.
open house in September, and they had a tattoo artist. So it's definitely
So cool.
still a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Um,
definitely can maybe get a little something like flower
yeah.
gardenia.
Yeah. And then VR, so virtual reality screens. And this is not what you think. Like, I think of virtuality like you put these glasses on, but that's not what we're talking about. I can't hear you. It's showing like a microphone is muted. So we saw these virtual reality
That's weird.
backgrounds. So it's basically like all over the wall or all over the floor.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I found the button. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, these VR experiences, I'm guessing where you can kind of immerse everybody into a different like virtual experience. So I saw this picture or this video actually on Instagram and I sent it to Sherry and I said,
Mm-hmm.
"What like this is what I was talking about where I'm saying like what's this VR stuff where I'm guessing you create a superficial wall that's able to be brought down and you project different patterns, colors, different, like, I guess, landscapes where it could be the backdrop of your wedding and you're getting married in front of it. So I thought that is really cool. I really want to see more of this, right?
Yeah.
And I clicked on that page and I saw that this is something that they're coming up with.
Mm-hmm.
That's trending. So I
Yeah, I saw it in one of my classes at Wedding MBA, and I thought it was really cool. They put flat floral all over the walls, so the floral that they were using throughout the wedding was.
I love that. I love that so much that um I'm like already thinking about mechanics. Like how do they even make it work? Like do they bring the wall like the backdrops like that's really cool. So VR, and then it also kind of worked out for the micro wedding. So the wedding I said to you was kind of a smaller looking wedding, and that's trending right now. Is the micro weddings where 25 people, weddings of 10 people. If you do it more like that, you can kind of create more experiences.
Even
Experiences.
with a smaller budget, you can really make it something special. And I'm hearing a lot of couples they may know a lot of people, but they're like, I really just want these key people to
Right.
experience this day with us and be able to make memories with every single person there. Because that is the hard thing about a bigger wedding is like I said earlier, you might get to see them for 15-minute increments, 5-minute increments.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so micro weddings, creating an experience, layering some of these trends, right? The 3-day micro wedding.
Right.
I'm a sketch artist now. But yeah, you're doing a smaller scale, but you're also you can also get creative with like some of the experiences for that smaller scale
Yeah.
wedding too. Maybe you're not spending a DJ, but you're getting something personalized like that permanent jewelry or something like a little bit more intimate. I just love that.
Yeah, we do a few of them a year. And one time we did one where they literally they were those people that one of those people that wanted to just spend quality time. So they could have invited way more people, but they said we want to cap our wedding at the number of people that can stay on your property. So since we can sleep 37, I think they had like 34. And we did a big communal table for them where they all ate together at the wedding. And they just got to really spend the whole time with those special people.
I love that. Yeah, and they feel the love too. Being
Mm-hmm.
the ones invited and knowing you could have done a big wedding, but being intimate is what.
I think also that kind of plays into that intimate thing that I'm seeing trending is the no bridesmaids, no wedding party. We didn't even talk about that, but that's definitely trending. And I think that's kind of an experience for just the couple. So you're not, I mean, yes, you want to honor all these people that you love in your life by having them stand by you, but more and more couples are going away from it and they are just doing them and making and just really, again, focusing on them and that moment for them.
Yes, I agree. There's a trend going on where people really are seeing what it's about, or maybe they just don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah,
Or
had
maybe
that too.
people that that they're that close to have as their wedding party, so they're just foregoing it altogether. And I have a bride who I saw it. She was in the middle. She's like, "No, I'm not gonna do it," and everybody knows I'm not gonna do it. And then kind of like towards the end of the year, she just decided, the year planning. She just decided, let's do it. I'm gonna have a bridesmaid, and then we're gonna have these people, or so I see the gut feeling was, hey, you know what? I see the need to keep my circle small.
Right.
It's important. I always say protect your peace, and that's how you do it. You're very selective.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I've seen it where they have a wedding party, but then they sit down too, and so it's just the couple. Like they actually have a wedding party where they walk down the aisle and they have this maid of honor and group best man and all of that, and but everybody seats after they walk down, and it's just the couple at the aisle, or at the
yeah.
altar, not the aisle.
Yes, at the altar, right? I'm seeing where we're having a big one, I mean, a big party, and just having maybe just one person up there,
Yeah.
the fluff or something. But yeah, less emphasis on bridesmaids and groomsmen, more emphasis on the couple, which I love. I love that. That's trending.
Mm-hmm. So I know everybody's going to want to know what colors are trending. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I love that Las Vegas is the wedding capital of the world because I do learn like what's going on, what's the trend, right? And so like those colors, the Verona sunset, the Havana night colors, are really, really trending. Less emphasis on the black and white wedding. Like everybody loves a white wedding, right? But like brides are embracing color. So couples in general are embracing the the pinks, the brights, the colors, the neons, right? The monochromatics ones. I love that a
Yeah,
lot.
I think when we're so monochromatic, like I'm seeing that a lot with the blues and the greens. Like they're doing, a green palette, but it's all like they'll have emerald and a hunter and a sage and then like a green gray, and like it just kind of like starts bold and mutes down. Same color, just different shades. So I'm seeing a lot of that with the greens and the blues. And you said using their color as a theme, even for their guests.
Yes. So a lot of times we get back photos. You get beautiful photos of the ceremony, but somebody's in like a bright pink, like neon, like I like or of a blazer, or like maybe you've got a couple of people who are like just don't fit the look that they wanted. So I guess word got around and people really want a cohesive look now. So they're asking their guests to show up in all black or show up in this color scheme. And they're putting it on the invitations and they're putting it on the wedding website and they're letting people know it, that they want them to show up in these colors. And so,
Kind of ties back to that Havana Nights too.
yeah, right. You're setting the scene, right? You're setting the backdrop. You're bringing in the sunset of Havana Nights, right? And like the feel and like the vibe too. When you're saying Havana Night, I'm thinking like, oh, something summery and maybe my shoulders are showing.
Yeah.
So some things like that. Like I really like that idea. And using it as a theme for your guests and kind of bringing them on in right before even they're here, they're shopping for it. Love that.
Yeah, I like it too because like sometimes somebody might show up in a really crazy pattern dress and like you're not wearing that pattern at all, and now they're like standing out in your pictures because they're, you know,
Black and white
uh,
bird or in some bright green. So,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
it's nice to go the extra mile for somebody. I mean, and then you get to shop for something new
yeah. We did a Casablanca night
Ooh,
open house, and everybody wore white, and for a wedding, maybe not so much. Everybody wears
right,
white,
right.
but definitely throwing those vibes out there is great.
I
Love
love a good themed open house.
it. Yeah.
Love that.
So reception, I heard, and I know we set in on this one together, but big communal tables. I haven't seen it, but I'm down for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it either, but we did see this big, beautiful communal table where it was just massive, two
Yeah.
times the size of a normal table. And then me and you were like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Like, how do we like, and I was trying to do the math too. Like maybe, if your venue offers 6-foot tables that are rectangular, putting them together and creating a big square. And that's what we say about communal tables, because you're really creating something bigger than the average table, which I thought is
A
really
lot of like sitting together. So it was the caterpillar tables, and I've seen like the S shape, right? Like I've seen those,
The S shape.
but the caterpillar, they were saying, was like they're taking rounds, and instead of them being separated, they're butting them up and kind of creating this caterpillar shape with the table. So basically, a lot of people sitting together is a trend.
Yes, yes. And I like that too, because it ties in with that micro wedding trend too. If it's a small wedding, you can get a little creative with those plans for sure. I think that's another the table reception, getting creative with reception, like tables and stuff like that. Kind of like the pearls and fruit in the centerpieces. So they did have like a pear on the table with like little pears, either glued or stabbed onto it. I was trying to figure out, is it like little like pins, or how do you say glue? But just having that on the table with some florals, that was really cool. I love that the trend of having it kind of like a picnic.
And the pearls were trending too, and not in the sense that like they used to trend, right? Like you used to see a lot of these floating pearls. It's not that. It's like pearls on napkins, pearls on invitations, pearls on sticks that were sticking out of the centerpieces. So it wasn't so much like the floating pearls like we used to see, but like strands of pearls intertwined into the arrangements, things like that, right?
I love that. That seems really new and like avant-garde than versus like the normal stuff we normally see.
And I love the fruit. Like one time I love seeing cabbage. Have you seen that? Cabbage in centerpieces is really cool. It gives a really unique depth and color to it.
Yeah, I do. I love that. I love where they're putting vegetables on the tables, and other types of like um, different looking arrangement, like spray painting it and making it look different and cool and stabbing it with pearls. How creative. That's really nice.
Statement backdrops. So they're saying for the sweetheart table, or for the band, or for the bar, having a statement backdrop is trending.
Yeah, so having that statement backdrop that will be in the background of your whole entire gallery. It's kind of a investment, right? Having a backdrop for something. A lot of drapery backdrops are coming in,
Yes.
right? Full on swoopy drapes, and so different colors and textures.
Hype and drape is coming back.
Hype and drape is coming back, right? I should learn how to do that. Right.
And night shot photography. So it kind of goes into like that night thing we were talking about earlier, the starry weddings and things like that. But actually, the photographer taking you away and getting some really unique nighttime shots is becoming a trend, which I love, because everybody sees during the day, but how often do you see like a really, I know a photographer who does, I did the episode with her last year for photography, Katie Rocks. She does amazing lighting, and she can do some really unique nighttime photos. So if your photographer can specialize in that, even better. It does require them knowing how to work with lighting, though, which some photographers are like, I'm all natural, and they don't know how to work with lighting.
Right. I sometimes think it's these photographers who are like at a wedding, people are dancing, and they're kind of like bored out of their mind. What else am I gonna do? I already got like 100 pictures of them dancing, and then let me pull the couple and get a little creative and add something fun to their gallery. So when they get the gallery back, it's not just the end of the gallery and they're dancing and it's just the DJ all night, but they have like these nice, photos that they can that add something different, variety to their gallery. I think Allison Jeffers photography is really good too with having these day to night photos. So she'll bring out you in front of like the front of the venue and in the beginning of the day where it's light, and then she'll have a night photo where the night shot is like the same area, same space, same spot, but at night where they have like lights right behind you and you're kind of like glowing, and like, I thought that was really cool. But I think that like I'm there on the team, and I'm thinking like, man, these people, they just are like foaming at the mouth to be creative and get out there
Yeah.
and do something
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so
So the simple cakes, they're out.
oh yeah.
Show stopping cakes are back in.
Yes. Love these show-stopping cakes. The Lambeth cakes are really, really coming in. And they have to be specialized. These bakers are learning how to do it because it is really coming back for sure.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Big show stopping cakes are back. So I mean, if you just really don't like icings, you can stick with your naked cake, but that's not what's trending.
Right, right. 99% of my brides are showing me these big, beautiful Lambeth vintage style cakes with lots of piping, lots of detail, lots of love thrown in. Love it.
Content creators.
Yeah, content creation is something new that we're offering on our business. It's somebody going and playing paparazzi with their iPhone and you getting to relive your wedding day, on your phone, like 24 hours after the day. So, and then having edited videos too of, the day. I
This
love
is
that.
a really great trend and a really great way to go viral by having this kind of thing. But I will say that, like, make sure you hire the right content creator, because your photographer is going to be mad and not be able to get the right photos if your content creator's all up in their way. So not only will they be mad, but it's going to be hard for them to do their job properly if they're in their way. So making sure that you're hiring somebody who can work well with the photographer.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like the OG content creators were the wedding coordinators, right? We were the people trying to get content for our Instagram and TikToks, and it was born out of necessity. And I would just share them out of love to my couples. And now I'm realizing that they really want a dedicated person to take pictures and follow them around all day like a paparazzi.
Yeah.
It just has to be the right one, like you say. They have to not get in the photographer's way and a bunch of all this.
Not be in the bride's face all day.
Be respectful, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Second party dress. So we've seen the second dress, right? The reception dress versus the down the aisle dress. But the second party dress is what's trending. So a shorter dress.
Right. The two-dress bride has been around for a while. I was a two-dress bride in 2018, but I just wore a second wedding dress, and it was tighter and it was more fun. It was more party in my eyes. But now we're having short, frilly, ruffled party dresses that are, it's not something you would ever walk down in the aisle with, but something to end in a party type of way, in a more easier fashion too, instead of dealing with all that fabric. So I think it's so cute, and the fact that they're modeled after wedding dresses makes it more special. So it's like, oh, she's still in a wedding dress. It's just
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, and the only thing I will say for this, as just being in the business as long as I've been in the business, is that making sure that it's still tasteful. Because even though right now you love the way your body looks and you want to show it off, that may not be what you want to show your grandkids in 50 years or
Right.
great grandkids. So it doesn't have to be like, Mormon or anything, but just tasteful.
Right. Yeah.
And then eco-friendly. So this was trending a few years ago, and it's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. I think it's the new generation that's realizing that um, we are in control of how much trash, of how much we recycle, of how much we put our emissions out there. So I think that this new generation, they're kind of opening their eyes out a little bit, which is really nice and sweet and compassionate to the world. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we've had a few brides that have really been down for that. And a couple of different things that happen here that, you're not using the gas going from your church to your reception. You're not using all of that, but you're also, like we compost our food. We have our clear plastic glasses. We make sure we buy recyclable plastics so that, and at the end of the night, all your wine bottles, your beer bottles, your plastic plates, your plastic cups, those all go into recycling. So at the end of the night, we have one bag of trash for a 5-hour reception. And so a lot of our couples really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of ties into what I was talking about last week with the stationery and like bringing in the seated invitations where they can like melt away, and I've seen compostable confetti, same kind of way. So like if you want to pop confetti at your wedding, it's not going to just be on the ground making everything dirty. Like it will break down on like, some plastic little piece that wouldn't. So I think couples are really paying attention to this.
Yeah. I love that. It's in a way giving back a little bit to Mother Nature. That's nice. Speaking of little um, paper where you can compost, handmade details are really nice, and that's another way where you can bring some of those trends in is maybe I had a couple who made little landscape artwork and put it on easels and attached guest names and a table to it, and that became their little escort like card, but gift, escort
Yeah.
gift. And it was just another way to create something handmade, made with love. I have another bride who is thinking about doing little pom poms, keychains as their escort cards. And everybody knows she crochets. She does crochet with gifts, and that's like part of her personality and a part of bringing in this handmade touch to her wedding, which is like so nice and so thoughtful, and another way of just inserting yourself into your wedding.
Yeah. We're also seeing, we saw at Wedding MBA needlepoint.
Needlepoint, yeah, some of this like these skills that you already know and love and use, putting that into your wedding and
Yeah.
knowing needlepoint, that's really nice.
And like, if you love gardening, little homegrown herbs to send home, like fresh basil or fresh um, rosemary to send home with people is another great way to incorporate something you love into your wedding.
Right. Yeah. Like having homemade table numbers. So I've seen it to where instead of having just like a card, having photos of you at the age of that table number. So, like baby pictures at table one of y'all when y'all were 1 year old, and then 2 years old, and then 3 years old. Like adding some homemade details and touches, really like surprise and delight. And that's another way to get the table talking, right? When you're at a strangers like, oh, is that with them when they were one? And so I thought, that's a great idea, and another way to add that homemade touch and bring your personality to it. Table numbers, escort cards. You said bookmarks. Right? That's really cool too. It's like anything made with love, I'm gonna take home. I'm gonna use because I see that it's made with love, and I just love that. It's a sentimentality to it.
Yeah, I think that that's what we're seeing trending is in general as experiences and in those experiences, ways to bring your love and display that to your guests and share it with your guests.
Yeah, I always say it's incorporating your wedding story and incorporating, um, you know, your relationship and bringing it to other people. For my couples now, we're getting intentional. Since the groom popped the question at Disney on their invitations, they had hidden little Mickey Mouse ears in the invitations, and they put it in their initials. They had it incorporated into their little like monogram. Like the bride loves monogramming everything. Like growing up, all her pencils were monogrammed and her pens, and like her mom like instilled that in her. So like we had that at the wedding, and it projected on their dance floor like little hidden Mickeys. It just was so fun. Like bring in that story, right? Be intentional. Have fun with it. Uh, my November 2025 couple loves Wicked, and they when they first met, he shared a lollipop at school with her every single day. And so instead of having a flower girl, because they don't have anybody to do that, they're having their friends pass lollipops down the aisle. A fun little like part of their wedding story. I was like, what about having lollipops? And they're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like we're gonna do it, because when he met her, he had 100 of them and needed to get rid of it. And it kind of like is the thing that brought them together, as kids, in high school. So I just love that. I love the story and how we can incorporate that. So I just like blabbed on about this, but it's real and it's true and it's fun. It's a really great way to incorporate your story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, so next week is our last week. I will be co-host Rachel Emery with Blanco Brew, talking about catering and bar. So don't forget to miss that. And then check out our YouTube channel to watch more of our videos. And don't forget to hashtag live if you're watching live with us today, and hashtag replay if you're watching later. And thank you all for joining us today, and we will see you next week.
Hey, thank you all.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Always appreciate you.
Yes.